These are the answers to homework pages 472 and 473, Unit 13, Lesson 6. Number 1, the answer is option 2. Number 2, A, plus or minus 0.216. B, confidence interval is 98.362 to 98.794. C, yes, because 98.7 does lie within the 95% confidence interval. D, no, 98.35 is outside the confidence interval. E, take more samples, which is the same as taking more trials. Number 3, 3.1, you're to fill out the frequency table, which is here. 3.2, the mean is 0.30. The sample standard deviation is 0.07. 3.3, confidence interval 0.16 to 0.44. 3.4, margin of error plus or minus 0.14. And 3.5, based on the proportion 8/40, which is equivalent to 0.2. Yes, 0.2 is within the confidence interval of 0.16 to 0.44. And this 8/40 came from the statement up here in the first paragraph. When the course is tested, 8 of 40 dogs complete the course. Now for explanations. With number 1, the study conducted in 2004 in New York City found that 212 out of 1,334 participants had hypertension. Okay, so this is a proportion from the study. And that, well, take the fraction and what is the decimal, and it comes out to be 0.15892. So the proportion of participants that had hypertension is approximately 0.16. So that rules out options 3 and 4. Next, the margin of error. So we have to decide, well, is the margin of error 0.01 or is it 0.02? So if we take our proportion of 0.16 and we plus or minus our margin of error of 0.01, right? I'm testing this one. I'm testing option 1. We get 0.15 to 0.17. So 0.15 to 0.17, about here, all right, is all this data, which does not encompass 95% of the data. That's definitely not 95% of our 100 dots. So this margin of error of 0.01 is too small. So it must be 0.02. And if we take 0.16 plus or minus the 0.02, we get 0.14 to 0.18, which encompasses actually probably more likely 96 because there's just 4 dots outside of that. So it's definitely choice 2. Number 2, we want the margin of error for 2A, which is simply 2 times the standard deviation. So 2 times 0.108 is 0.216. And make sure, don't forget to put the plus or minus in front of it. B, we're given the mean, and we want to find a 95% confidence interval. So that's the mean plus or minus the margin of error. So the mean of 98.578 plus or minus our margin of error of 0.216 gives us 98.362 when we subtract the 0.216 and 98.794 when we add the 0.216 to the mean. C, is it reasonable to conclude that the population mean of the body temperatures could be 98.7? Well, does 98.7 lie within our confidence interval? And 98.7 does lie within the confidence interval above. So that answer is yes. Is it reasonable to conclude that the population mean body temperatures could be 98.35? Well, does 98.35 lie within our confidence interval? No, it doesn't. So no, 98.35 is outside the confidence interval. And then D, if we want our data to more closely approximate a normal curve, we would take more samples. Right? Increasing the sample size narrows the spread, but taking more samples, that gives us resembles the normal curve. And number 3, it's very important that in this first paragraph, the last sentence here of the first paragraph, that you see that, oh, when the course is tested, 8 of 40 dogs complete the course. So that's our proportion for the sample that was tested. 8 divided by 40 is 0.2. The frequency table, and then using the calculator, we'd have to do, I think I have it in here, we do, stat edit, right? L1 and L1 is our proportions, L2 is our frequency, and then stat calc, one variable statistics. Make sure that L2 is pasted into the frequency list. And the mean, rounding to the nearest hundredth, is the 0.297 is going to round up to 0.30, and the sample standard deviation is 0.07, again rounding to the nearest hundredth. Then the confidence interval is the mean plus or minus 2 times the standard deviation, so 0.30 plus or minus 2 times 0.07. We get a confidence interval of 0.16 to 0.44. The margin of error is simply plus or minus 2 standard deviations, so 2 times 0.07 is 0.14. Plus or minus 0.14 is our margin of error. And is it reasonable to conclude that 30% of the dogs can complete the course in the allotted time? Based on the proportion of 8 out of 40, which is 0.20, does 0.2, or just 0.2, sorry, lie within this confidence interval? And it does. So yes, 0.2 is within the confidence interval of 0.16 to 0.44.